I don't really care about money. Crazy, I know. There's just a bunch of things I love doing and don't really mind if I don't get rewarded like others do. I mean, why else would I still be spending 8 hours a day making YouTube videos and get literally no money out of it? What's kind of sad about all that though, is that I get literally no money out of it. A lot of my friends and people around me have since gotten real jobs and earned real stuff. So eventually I got worried if I was supposed to be a little more concerned about it. Like, think about this. A part-time 30-hour week moping around in the corner of Dollar General pays a good $300. So given that I spent around 1,000 hours on my last 5 videos, mathematically that means I got at least a couple grand from YouTube, right? Right? I haven't been paid in 10 months. I guess it's dinner in the junkyard again. Soon I got so worried I was doing life wrong that eventually I told myself I should probably earn at least a little something. For the longest time, I thought I'd do this by working in the family store for the summer. I mean, what was there to lose? But the closer the day came, the more I worried it would mean I couldn't work on art as much as I liked anymore. So eventually I opted out. Okay, so I want a job, but not too much of a job that is the only meaningful thing I'll do. I want money, but I don't want that to be my only purpose in life. I want to be productive, but not to where the only person I'll be really helping is me. Well, that's enough thinking for one day. Let's take a break and sink the next hour or two watching funny card gamer streamer man.
Guess who it is? It's pig time, baby!
Enter Andrew Mahone, aka Enjoyfriend, aka formerly the guy in Darium's, aka the biggest Pokemon TCG creator that ain't Japanese, aka the creator of Gym Leader Challenge, best TCG format, aka 21st in Worlds with Rhydon, aka the only married person in all of Twitch, aka the best kickflipper to ever grace the planet, aka the owner of Tricky Gym. Andrew's been my favorite creator for pretty much a whole year now. Like, his video literally appears on this shot of Why I Stopped Trying. That's when you know I'm a real fan. Part of the reason I love him so much is that he can make literally anything he talks about ear candy. Sure, there are other guys that can make cool, epic content, but the second they pivot, I lose all interest. I couldn't give 2 tricks about Zelda or the mortgage in Akron, Ohio, or the installation of HVACs, but when he talks about it, bro, if I miss even 2 minutes of it, I may as well be dead. But I think what's made him even more special now is that I sort of see myself in him. To put it simply, he kinda stands for where I see my life heading if everything in my future turns out okay. Here's a quick catch-up so you know what I mean. Ever since forever, Andrew's dreamt of a life as a content creator. So for lots of his youth, he taught himself how to Photoshop pictures and edit skateboarding videos. Then he was forced by his parents to go to college, so he went for an art degree since art's the best and academics stink. Leaving college was scary since he didn't know where to go from there, so he took on some ordinary everyday jobs that were not, in fact, content creation. But one day, opportunity struck, and he got a job creating content about cards. And ever since, he's never let go and has entertained more people than he could ever dream of. Now, look at me. Ever since forever, I dreamt of a life as a storyteller. So for lots of my youth, I've taught myself how to write stories and make whatever art I could be proud of. Then I was forced by my parents to go to college, so I went for an art degree since art's the best and academics stink. Leaving college is scary for me because I don't know where on earth I'm gonna go afterwards. As far as I know, I might end up sulking around and doing nothing for a decade. But I hope one day opportunity will strike, and in some miraculous fashion, I'll become an epic filmmaker and make lots of stories people can enjoy and touch more people's hearts than I could ever dream of. While my canvas is a silver screen, his bread and butter has been his tabletop content, highly produced real-life videos of him and another dude playing games of Pokemon cards. At first, I wasn't super into this side of his channel, but slowly they've improved more and more, and he's become so much more passionate about making them that I started watching them just because seeing the finished product always felt so inspiring. But like all good things in life, these videos took a heavy toll. Look at these cameras, they cost money. Look at this co-host, he costs money. And look at this video, 40 minutes long? You want to edit entire videos that are 40 minutes long? So it's no wonder these videos always lose him more money than he gains, yet he still kept at it for years because this is what he loved doing. And besides his co-host he plays games with, he has to do everything himself. But at the time, things had to be this way.
That's the deal. Even, I mean, I'm talking to a very nice person over email who's interested in doing video editing for Tricky Gym, but like their rate is like $400, $500 a day. My videos maybe make about $100 an ad revenue. When I was paying Chip, I paid Chip like $100, $150. Yesterday's stream was a long stream, so I paid Jesse $100 for that. The overhead for each tabletop video is like $200 minimum. That's something that's like weighs on my mind constantly because it's like I'm trying to figure out how to make it all work.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm a guy who likes editing videos. I'm a guy who doesn't care about money. I'm a guy who thrives on Mr. Jim's success. Maybe I could edit his videos for him. But wait, think of all your favorite YouTubers whose channels crumbled from hiring new editors. Curryway, Unlisted Leaf, The Odd Ones Out, Mr. Beast. Real breaking news. I didn't want that to happen. Not sure if you read the title of the video, but this is my favorite YouTuber. I don't want to be why his channel falls off, so as I wrote my email asking if I could try editing for him, I made sure to note 3 things. That I fully loved and understood what his content aspired to be, that I wanted to keep that very same vibe if I did get the job, and that I plugged my channel in the email. I showed an epic buddy, ST Cubing, editor of 50 billion YouTubers, the email once I sent it, and he told me it sounded very insecure. Because I am insecure. I've had a hard time trusting myself since the beginning of forever. And besides not trusting that I wouldn't torpedo his channel with my first vid, I also had no idea if I even had anything to offer in the first place. One of my ideas for summer jobs before the gym was to open commissions. You know, going on Fiverr or something and offering random people to edit their videos or draw funny pictures for them. But would I even get anyone? My art making style is so different from anything else that the only person I thought I would be useful for was myself. There are real animators and real editors and real artists out there. As fellow pigchefer cast member Amplified said on stream, my stories are fine and my drawings are fine, but seeing the finished product is pure bliss.
Yeah, shut up, Emily.
The finished product. Maybe I could tell him I had heaps of experience, but deep inside, I didn't really feel like I did. So my hopes weren't exactly the highest. As Mr. Jim put it, I just emailed some random guy on the internet I watched who didn't have to read a thing I said, but what I was yet to know was that this email was about to change my life in ways I could never even dream of.
So Pig sent me a nice email, basically, applied to work with me on video editing and things like that. Pigchefer is a very motivated, enthusiastic, bright young lad from the Philippines who is going to be helping me with video editing. Just graduated high school, so we're kind of working together like an internship, kind of. I'm helping teach Pigchef about editing and Premiere Pro and stuff like that. And Pigchef, who has his own YouTube channel, is going to be helping me with editing. I was really impressed by his enthusiasm and how motivated he was to learn more about video editing and all of that. And also just like his videos, like, look at this. Okay. Do you mind if I show off a minute of your video real quick, Pigchef? All right, well, in order to figure out the rest that happens, you have to go to Pigchef's channel and watch the rest. He's so talented, and he's still learning a lot. He's still learning a lot about Premiere, but he's learning at a rapid rate. Like, I'm showing him how to do a couple of things this weekend, because he just got Premiere for the first time. He was doing this on a free program. We just got Premiere Pro for Pigchefer, and he's going to be, like, next level. Like, you got it, you got what it takes to actually do this. So I'm just excited to be a part of your journey and to kind of help you along in whatever way that I can. Anyways, really looking forward to working together and seeing what we can accomplish together, really, with our powers combined. It'll be sick.
Okay, a few things. One, Andrew calls me Pigchef. Never really thought anyone would call me anything other than Matthew, Matt, Pigchefer, or Pig. But when he started saying Pigchef, everyone else started saying Pigchef, and honestly, I kind of like it. Please keep doing that. Second, I watched this happen live on stream with Mr. Blue Thick Fish, and he can vouch when I say I'm screaming very loudly at this moment. I may be his editor, but that doesn't mean I won't be his fan and freak out when he notices me. But most importantly, he believes in me. He read the email, he saw all the things I made, and instead of thinking it was silly and useless like I thought it was, he saw a lot in me, and really thinks I can succeed in an epic creative life and wants to support me, and that's so cool, man! Hearing someone that's already succeeded in what I wanted to do tell me that he's sure I'm going somewhere is the most reassuring feeling on earth. Even without the job, dude, just hearing that he thought my videos were wonderful would make my whole year. But he did give me the job. He could tell from my content that I was fresh out of high school, so he wanted it to be kind of like an internship. He helps me get all the skills I need to work for Reels while I edit his videos, and also gives me Munners, and Premiere, and a $69 animation pad, and a 45-minute tutorial on how to edit like he does. Look, if this doesn't convince you he's the best boss ever, I'm gonna lose my mind. Your man may be from Dollar General, but I came from the gym. So pretty much all throughout that week, Andrew and I were discussing how this whole editing gig would work. Of course, this was my first job literally ever, but once he laid it all out, it was actually quite simple. The tabletop videos would be split between me and Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim would take care of the beginning bits on his own, while I would edit all the gameplay, the part of the videos that make these things so gosh darn long. He would send all my footage to a Google Drive folder, which I would download, edit, and send back when I finished. No deadlines, no limits, just take however long I need and do whatever I want, and once he received the edited footage, he would put his pieces together with mine, ship it, DM me his feedback, and pay me my monies. The better I got and the more work I would do, the more money I'd get. Simple as that. Now, I don't know about you, but hearing that I get to help the gym that easy, and finally get to do something other than draw pigs all day, I can't name anything any more exciting. But as simple and exciting as it looked, there was just one problem. I can't work without that happening. My setup sucks! Here's what I used to make literally all my videos before this. Here's my beat up laptop, my drawing tablet I stole from my brother, my headphones, and my complete absence of a mouse. This setup barely got me through editing my own videos, which, if you recall, are shortest trick. I have to edit 40-minute videos. And I couldn't even get to the 2-second mark without... Well, it's no use. Throw in the towel. I'll tell Mr. Jim the news tomorrow. Wait, hold up, I didn't order anything. Why is delivery here?
Turns out Full Grip does have super fast shipping.
Yeah, pretty much 30 minutes later, my new computer came in. I don't want to seem like a rich kid who has oodles of disposable income, because I'm not. So I've always been real hesitant asking anything expensive from anyone. But my parents insisted I get something for my graduation, and their first idea was a new computer, and I didn't really know what else to ask for. It was supposed to arrive a few months out, but once news arrived that the gym was paying me, they got it to arrive literally on the day. And I'm quite grateful for it. I do find it a little silly that this only happened because of the money though. My parents don't really understand what I'm doing or even what editing is, and even used to limit how much I could work because they think I'm just playing games or something. But when they heard me screaming from Andrew's reply email and there was money involved, suddenly it was like editing was a gift sent from heaven. But it is still nice though that I have my parents who care about me surviving and Mr. Jim who cares about me thriving, creative-wise. And this is my new setup. Here's my M1 Mac, it's green because I like green. Here's my keyboard and my mouse. Here's my old setup, it's kind of like my second monitor where I draw pictures. And here's a picture of Andrew Mahone my brother drew... Wait. Where is it? Did someone throw it away? I swear it exists, I'm literally not lying. Trying out my new setup for the first time was an absolute treat. It did take a while to get used to the macOS and the complete absence of right-click, but other than that, I really felt like I could create to my fullest potential for the first time. I was talking to Mr. Jim about it that day, and he was like, 8 gigs of RAM might be a little slow, but it should work out just fine. And after making this, and this with it, yeah, it worked out just fine. Even with the new computer though, I was still a bit nervous about my first editing assignment, a video where a broken deck beats slightly less broken deck. I watched the Twitch stream where these games were played live, and at the time it seemed like light work. All I gotta do is cut the dead space, put the cards on screen, and what do you know, the video is over. But the more I went through the video, the more I realized what editing really is like. These videos could not be more different than my own work, even more so than I first thought. With my videos, every tiny decision is scripted and pre-planned, and I know exactly what to do the second I open the editor. With videos at the gym, there is no plan or script. I have to make literally every choice on the spot. And it's a 40-minute video. Not to mention, there were so many more decisions than I ever imagined. How fast do I pace it? Where do I make the cards appear? What bits of dialogue do I keep or cut out? So I did what any sane, agreeable human would do. Watch Tricky Jim's tabletop videos frame by frame and completely replicate every single edit he's ever done. Yeah, I did have tiny little ideas for my own flares, but again, I didn't trust that my judgment would be any good for the job. But you know what I did trust? The gym, baby. After all, according to one of his streams, he's gotten it down to a science, so I felt much safer doing everything exactly the same. It wasn't even that exact, but let's not talk about it. And even if I didn't trust myself, I did have some faith that this video would help me get a good workflow by the end. For those of you curious, and I know a ton of you are, this is basically how I make my videos. I spent quite a while mixing and matching everything to be as efficient as possible. And for me, that means each distinct step has its own distinct session, and every action I do is done from easiest to hardest. Now that we know how I make my videos, let's take a look at how Mr. Jim makes his. Wait, that's it? You just do everything all at once? Is that how you crush the Tinglu one out in 12 hours? Needless to say, I'm way worse at multitasking than Andrew. So with making this video, I tried splitting everything into its own step. Now you may think I'm going a bit too overboard, but personally, I think my workflow is genius. So first, I would cut everything up, And then I would watch the whole video again to add the trainer cards. And then I would watch the whole video again to add the Pokemon cards. And then I would watch the whole video again to mask the Pokemon cards. And then I would watch the whole— Finishing this video took about a week of work, which even for me is a little slow. But looking back, I at least nailed the one thing I sought out to do. Recapture that very same Tricky Gym vibe we know and love. Mr. Jim seemed happy about it too, so he published it, gave me the munners, and the next morning I sat back and watched the entirety of my work for the first time. And there it hit me. I did it. I actually did it. I actually really pulled it off. Now all I have to do is do the exact same thing I just did over and over again. Okay, you know that's not really what happened. But at the time, I figured that was enough. But I could do better than enough. It took a little while, but I learned that with my own videos, and that's what I was soon to learn even more in my work for Mr. Jim. I just had to have a little more faith in myself for once, that's all. Fortunately, I didn't have to wait very long. A few weeks later, Mr. Jim gave me my next project, where Broken Deck from 2016 beats Broken Deck from 2016. Andrew is out for the International Championships right after I finished the first edit, so getting this took a bit longer than expected. My parents kept suggesting it was because he silently fired me, so when I did get the job, I was a bit afraid it only happened because I said I was suffering on the growing up video. But hey, a break is a break, so I'll take it. In no time, I got straight to work. I cut it all up, watched the video, put the trainer cards, watched the video, put the Pokemon, and way quicker than I expected, I was pretty much done with the first of the games. Now, a sane, agreeable man would be satisfied here and just take the money. But here I was, having some shower thoughts of my own. There was this one Twitch stream where Andrew was talking about his own edits, and he was like,
what if when the Gyarados attacked, it like swung in to the Spiritomb and like a 90 popped out of it, and there was like a water sploosh. All I need is for someone to develop the animations for me. Now that could still cost thousands of dollars, but I'm not opposed to, you know.
And then it hit me. Hey, I'm the guy that Andrew pays. I can do that. So right after my shower, I started working on what the damage stuff would look like. The closer I got to a final product though, the more unsettling thoughts came in. Wait, Andrew never actually paid someone to make the custom animations. Maybe he stopped liking the idea. Maybe he didn't want this anymore. Maybe he thought this was too much. Because in this other stream Andrew had, he said—
and that's the thing, is like you gotta figure out what's too much, what's overwhelming, what's overstimulating, right? Because if you put in too many, you start to lose the plot a little bit. You start to get lost in the sauce when there's like too many cues.
What if I would make his videos lost in the sauce? He did say he wanted this though. Maybe I'll just do a little test to see what these would look like, send it to Andrew and ask if he likes it. I mean, it's a simple click delete if he hates it. All I had to do was wait for his approval. And boy, did I get more than that. I got—
Did you see that? How slick that looked. I know, I saw it and my mind was blown, bro. I was like, that's so slick. It really makes it so much more engaging, so fun to watch. I am so thrilled. He's killing it. He's doing such a good job. I'm so proud of him. I'm really excited about the work he's doing, you know? He's very clearly passionate and like really dialed into the content, and it's so exciting. It's so exciting to like have a working relationship like that where it's like, okay, we're both bouncing ideas off each other and inspiring each other to push it even further. It's really cool. He didn't even have Adobe Premiere or Final Cut or anything. Basically a total stranger. I was like, all right, we're just gonna take a little risk and we're gonna see if you're capable. And dang, I am so amped up. He is killing it. He pretty much taught himself how to use— he'd never used Adobe Premiere before. It's crazy. Like, look how fast he's learning. Now, like, I'm genuinely really excited to do tabletop now. But now I just need to figure out how to keep affording it.
Guys, something tells me he doesn't hate it. I think I've become a little more detached to the meaning of compliments recently. Like, half of the time I don't even know whether to believe someone when they say they like my videos. But Andrew saying he wants to make tabletop stuff even more now because of this, that's priceless. That and his chat being excited for these videos just for my edits, and Heather, female protagonist, professional Pokemon cosplayer, wanting to co-host these videos more to get the Pig Chef treatment, that's when I knew that I did something right. Andrew told me a while back that he hopes that working for him has given me a bit more faith in myself. Well, this moment happened, and now I feel even more faithful than ever. Since I started editing for him, I added the damage animations, the pops, the shadows, the smooth zooms, the cards across when you gust, the glowy highlights on the board, and visual gags when anyone forgets what the cards do. And I know they're not the biggest of changes, but that's kind of the point, isn't it? Now, I've kind of come to grips with my own faith and trusted my judgment on whether I was getting lost in the sauce or not, while in the end, still making the gym's videos better and better. Like, even Andrew got inspired by what I was doing and started making those edits in his own projects too. And when he told me about it, I felt so honored you don't even understand. And don't even get me started on his community, bro. Like, man, they're so cool. My first video for the gym may have gotten me a place, but this video put me on the map. People started seeing me as something genuinely special that's happened to the channel. My name basically became synonymous to the videos. Like, whenever a new tabletop video would come out, people would think of Tricky Jim and me. And for this to happen specifically with my favorite YouTuber, I just feel so lucky. I made this one joke in Mr. Mahone's DMs that my audience is full of 13-year-olds while his audience is full of fathers of 13-year-olds. And just forget about that truth I'm spitting because you should see for yourself. Maybe it's just me, but I feel Twitch gamers aren't exactly the best cultivators of communities. After a while, people's egos start inflating and they start making everyone feel small and mocked and neglected. Of course, except for all the popular people and the girls in chat. But Tricky Jim? Wait a minute, there's no superiority complex? There's no simps? You're saying that everyone's humble and kind and welcoming with each other here? Now where has this been all my life? I wish I knew sooner a man could be popular and not fall for his pride. I mean, seriously, the Minecraft speedrun community is full of simps. And dang it, man, it's so gosh darn nice to be at some place where I'm not condescended on every time I speak. I might be half the age of everyone there, but it truly feels like I'm an equal. And for that, I am eternally grateful. And with that, we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, the best part of the gym is yet to come. We'll be right back after this message.
And now, put your hands together for Tricky Jeopardy!
Welcome to Tricky Jeopardy! I'm your host, Jameson, and this daily segment was brought to you by FullGripGames.com. Now why don't you get this game started, Natalie?
I'll pick Tricky True Events for 1,000, please.
This is the Tricky Gym community member who was the first and only person to ever ask for pigchef's autograph.
Who is Alex Holtz?
That is correct!
I'll take Tricky Card References for 500.
This is the Pokemon card alluded to in the following quote. And also, they're afraid of me getting shot by quick shooters.
What is Intellion from Chilling Reign?
Right again!
Let's go with Tricky Quotes for 50,000, please.
This is the meaning behind the following message from Tricky Jim.
What is that supposed to mean?
And it looks like we're out of time, folks. Remember, be sure to check out FullGripGames.com, the best place to buy trading card game singles and sealed products. Let's head back over to you, Pig.
Thanks, Jameson, for that wonderful game, and thank you, Mr. Jim, for letting me add that sponsorship joke. Which reminds me, I haven't talked about my pay, at all in this video. Have I? It's the most important detail. How on earth did I forget? But then again, I also forgot about the pay while making literally all his videos. I pretty much only remember when my mom texted me she got the gym payment. Yeah, my parents are the ones excited over the money. And I mean, that's fair. One of the first things someone asks when taking a job is, what's the pay? But in my application email to Andrew, I literally wrote about the pay, and I quote, please don't worry about it. Because, and I can't stress this enough, that's not why this job matters so much to me. But if you're curious, I get paid $2 per video. Sorry about that, censor, my mom's holding me hostage. I chose this job because I really wanted to help Mr. Jim with his passion, and I've come to love this job because of him. Because of this job, I now have a super epic mentor figure, someone I've admired for so long and now get to share things to. Sometimes I watch a vid he edited himself and then go up to his DMs and start geeking out over how everything's so cool and epic and mind-blowing, because I can do that now. And sometimes I talk about my worries over college and other future-y things, and then he spends a while typing out tons of advice and wisdom for me, because I can do that now. None of this was part of the job description, he really didn't need to do any of it, but he does, and gosh, it's so cool. In fact, the very best moment of my work for him wasn't about his videos at all. It was about mine. Do you remember this clip of my last video?
Hey Pig, got any idea what course you'll be taking?
That is Mr. Jim. I asked him during a power outage in his office if he'd be fine saying that line for the video, and to my surprise, he agreed. Andrew knew I was cooking my own thing alongside his tabletop videos for the longest while now. Even during his first call discussing the job with me, I was working on that exact video. And he's been really supportive of my efforts with it, saying over and over how he was really looking forward to seeing it. There was this one day I was showing him a way to make the damage animations way quicker, and he asked how I was doing, so I was like,
I'm so tired. I've only been editing the past 2 days.
and he was like,
Yes, your personal video.
and I was like,
No, the Tricky Gym video.
isn't that so sick? After I finished that tabletop vid, I asked if I had anything else to do, and he said he'd give me a break to finish my own video. He gave me the rest of the week off since he knows what I do is really hard, and hey, have I mentioned how trickin' cool the gym is yet? Until I inevitably realized how trickin' painful making my own videos really was. It sucks! I don't know if you realize, but drawing the same fish person, pig person, Matthew person over and over and over again for 8 hours a day is exactly how you die inside. And I get burned out after an hour. It got so bad that I started using editing for Tricky Gym as an excuse to take breaks from the real work. Yeah, I worked to take breaks. And honestly, editing his videos was a nice escape from reality for me. Besides distracting me from my creative pains, it also distracted me from my social pains, my academic pains, my family pains. I could work on the gym videos for 10 hours a day and not go insane. So in that fateful week where I had no Mahone work, I was losing my mind. But it's not like I could just ask for another project. Andrew's next planned video was going to be about unreleased Charizard cards. And as far as I know, I don't think you can play with cards that don't exist.
And now we've got backwards cards.
So when the cards did finally arrive and Mr. Jim finally finished his stream, first thing I did in the morning, I got the footage and I hit the gas on the editing. Andrew had to leave for Japan to compete in the World Championships that same week, so this was my first video with an actual tight deadline. So I had to finish both my most ambitious Pig Chef video and my most ambitious Tricky Gym video in the same exact week, which made me more creatively pumped than ever, which made me work way faster than I ever worked before. Not to mention, this was pretty much the first gym video where I genuinely knew what I was doing, where I finally found a workflow that made sense, a real efficient one. I just cut the footage up, then watch the video once, put the trainers, and mark where every other card goes at the same time. Then put the damage animations, then put the Pokemon in, then rewatch the video one more time to refine everything, and add silly stuff like this.
From my testing in the kitchen yesterday.
Yeah, Mr. Jim liked the first time I added something silly to an edit, so I felt way more confident adding heaps more treats to this video, and I was darn proud of it. In fact, I was so proud of everything in this video. How it only took 2 days to finish, how fun I made it, how so many people watched it and loved it, how Mr. Jim joined the call in his server where I was editing the video and said he'd give me a raise because I was working extra hard on this video. I'm so happy I got to make this video, it's so cool! And now that I had gotten that video out of the way, I had built up so much excess excitement that I could dump it all on my own video. I'd pretty much finished most of the work before the Charizard video, so most of what I had left was the last minute-ish of animation, the music, and the sound design. So it's probably obvious how I got it done really quick after, but at the time, when it had only been 2 days and I finished, I was like, wait, that can't be right. If your name is Church Girl and you're salty I didn't take you to prom, you might remember that getting the music right for Why I Stopped Trying took literal weeks. And I pulled this off in like a couple of hours. So I rewatched the video to see if it was any good, and I was left confused and confuzzled. I'd probably watched that video so many times over the past 2 months, seeing that same script and those same drawings over and over again, that I was left more or less numb. I didn't know if it was any good. Maybe it was too slow, or made no sense, or was completely uninteresting and unfunny. So I did what any sane, agreeable man would do. Ask Mr. Jim to watch the entire thing and say if it was good or not. Listen, Andrew is right there in my DMs, and he wanted to watch it anyway, and he knows like no one in my fan base, so I knew he wouldn't spoil anything, and he understood the topic of the video far more than anyone else I knew, since he was twice my age in wisdom and has gone through the whole growing up thing before, and, if you can recall, he got an art degree in college. Watching his streams, you can really tell he understands art stuff a lot. And no, not the art of just a good YouTube video, just the art of art. I wanted the growing up video not to be just agreeable and well-performing, but something that oozed with meaning, and I felt if I wanted feedback that wasn't just
Put this out for attention, a goof.
my best bet was from him. So nervously, I asked if he was alright with it, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to. So I sent a kinda rough but mostly final version of the growing up video, which he watched before he went live. I probably delayed the stream by like 10 minutes. Sorry guys. After a bit, he came back to me with the news. He thought it slapped hard, dude. Now, I had a few things I was really concerned about in the video, which I tried not to tell him about beforehand, since I wanted everything Andrew said to truly come from what he really thought. And in true epic fashion, he literally talked about everything I was concerned about, because he knows art and what really goes into a piece. He knows that stuff. I was secretly worried that the video intro was boring, and he told me it was compelling and made the piece special. I was worried the speed felt awkward, and he told me that the pacing was great. I was worried that my humor sucked, and he told me that the juxtaposition of contrasting ideas was very funny to him. And most importantly, I was worried that no one would understand what on earth the ending meant, and he said that the ending with my future self was super self-reflective and very cool. Also, he paused the video a ton to read all the Easter eggs I put. Like, that's when you know dude's an epic gamer. What makes me most sure about the worth of my work though is if it makes my audience feel something. So when Mr. Mahone said he felt chills when watching it, and felt so proud of me that he showed the video to his wife who also loved it, brother, say no more. I'll never doubt this video ever again. Ever since the beginning of my career, Mr. Jim has been real invested in my steps towards my future. In my first meeting with him, he asked if I was going to college soon. In his tutorial session for me, he wondered what degree I'd be taking. In the Tricky Jim VOD streamed live on Twitch July 10, 2023, he was planning my work schedule in front of everyone as to all be before the school year started. And even right now, as I'm writing this video, Andrew often checks on me to see how college is going. And yes, I'm writing this video in college. Don't blow my cover, no one spotted me yet. Seeing as I just exposed myself as afraid of that very future, Mr. Jim was nice enough to say that he also felt uncertain over his future after college. But it was pointless trying to be ready for every little thing that would happen with his life, because it was impossible to predict all of it. So he told me to just focus on the present and what I'm learning and doing now, and have faith that all of that will help me learn and do for the rest of my life. And that's the thing about everything that's happened this year. It really is helping me over and over again in ways I never imagined. Remember when I said I was scared to do commissions because I thought I hadn't learned a thing useful from my videos? Well, that's what I thought, until I started working for the gym more and more, and now I don't think I could have done it if it weren't for my own videos. The videos on my channel helped me learn about colors, and composition, and pacing, which I all applied to the gym videos. And then the gym videos helped me even more with my colors and composition and pacing, that every time I finished one and came back to editing mine, I got better and better. Speaking of Pig Chef videos, did you know that I get unusually nervous every time I have to upload them? True story. I was trying to edit another video for the gym while waiting for my video to go public, and I was shaking so violently up and down my chair that I literally finished nothing. I think I'd been worried about the thumbnail and the retention and the CTR the entire 2 days before the upload. Since Mr. Jim already knew about the video and seemed quite curious about it, I felt comfortable talking to him about how I felt. My channel has a history of falling off, so I told him I was worried the video would perform like trash and single-handedly send my channel into an unending death spiral. I didn't think Andrew cared very much about his analytics at all. Like, he already has his sponsors, a bajillion Twitch subs, and he's talked about YouTube Studio a total of like 2 times before. But interestingly enough, Mr. Jim told me that he also worries about this sort of stuff. I thought I was the only one that memorized the view counts of my last like 50 videos, but he does that too. See guys, I'm not that crazy. Andrew seeing down arrows and dwindling views on videos he worked very hard on always felt a bit disappointing for him. The video he was most proud of making himself, the Chanpao video, didn't perform nearly as well as he wanted. But he told me that I shouldn't let the numbers and the algorithm dictate whether my video is special or not. His tabletop videos quite literally make the opposite of bank, but he knows in his heart that they're still incredibly special. Given I already knew before uploading that my video was only ever gonna get like $5, hearing Mr. Jim saying my video really is special no matter what happens felt really nice. And then literally minutes before he left for Japan, he tagged his entire server and shared the video to everyone there. Like, bro, I knew you asked how many videos I wanted for a reason, and now, thanks to the Tricky Jim, this video got an extra 100 of them. Honestly, that doesn't sound crazy, but thanks to that one announcement, the video 1 out of 10 for like 90 minutes, and non-Geometry Dash people finally got this video in their feeds. And I'm just really happy a new sphere of people finally got to see my work, you know? But that's not exactly what made this entire experience special though. Like, you might be looking at this video and thinking, wait, what was the point of this again? Where's the life problem? Where's the part where I cry at the end? All you did was gush about the same one guy for half an hour. And yes, I did make this video to gush. I need more videos about positive topics, bro. But think about it like this. You remember the last few videos I made for my channel and those problems I talked about that have been in my life? Well, that's the thing about this job, you know? Working for Andrew made me confident that art makes me happy. Working for Andrew made me learn that maybe sharing my talents with others isn't a bad thing. Working with Andrew made me realize that people see tons in me and that I'm more creative than I ever thought. And working for Andrew made me trust that my future's gonna be okay. But what does that future hold for me? Maybe it'll be years muddled in college work. Maybe it'll be things that stray me away from art. Maybe it'll mean I won't have time for the gym anymore. But wherever I may end up once that day comes, I'm sure of one thing. That I can say, I'm there because of him. And if that doesn't convince my ex that making money off YouTube isn't a total selfish thing, then I look forward to seeing you the next 10 years at the Dollar General, baby!
Wait, this video was about me?
Yes, apparently Pig's next video is going to be about working for Tricky Gym. Dang. I wonder if I have to be nervous. Tricky Gym exposed? What it's actually like working for Tricky Gym. Another day in the Tricky Mines, farming content.